Now, today I kind of want to dabble a bit into self-improvement and, why most people fail. Now, have you ever kind of set a goal, worked at it for a bit and just kind of lost steam along the way? To be honest, we've all been there. And that is not because you're not capable. It's just because we struggle with a lot of self-improvement. It's usually because we're stuck in one of these two things, or maybe both, which is one, a bad habit, two, setting an expectation that is way too high. Now, when these kind of things happen, we get frustrated at ourselves because the results don't come the way we want it. But to be honest, we are making it so hard on ourselves that we don't even realize we're doing it. But once we start to understand, what is holding us back, we can start to make real changes within our own lives that create great progress along the way, or we also can feel a sense of accomplishment when we realize these certain things. So today I want to dive into 3 reasons why I think this happens, and little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to kind of help me push through these things. All right, nonetheless, let's get into them. Reason 1, you're waiting for motivation, and that's why you're stuck. Now, let's be real. If you're waiting to feel ready to, achieve certain goals, if you're waiting, for the right time to come, there is never going to be a right time to do things unless you start. Now, motivation comes and goes, which regardless, if you're wanting to win, regardless of how you feel, you would do it. And that's not motivation. That's called discipline. Everyone is waiting for that moment to, feel ready, feel energized, feel motivated to kind of get whatever goal they're trying to achieve, whether it's, in the gym or whether you're out there in life. Now, when you look for that feel ready feeling, you're never going to get it. And the only way to get what you want to get and the results you want to achieve is to start. If you're relying on motivation to get you going, it is never going to work, because those who actually want to win do the work regardless of how they feel, regardless of motivation, and it's just discipline along the ways. Now, have you ever kind of noticed that when you actually start doing something, going to the gym, working on certain projects in your life, you get into this certain zone? Now, that's because action creates motivation, not the other way around. Now, this zone is what I like to call a flow state. This happens when you're really in the groove, working on your goals, and everything just clicks. That's called being in a certain flow. It's that feeling when you're so focused and absorbed in what you're doing that time seems to disappear. You're not overthinking, you're not getting distracted, you're just fully present, doing your best work without even realizing it. Now, this flow state is a state where, everyone should strive for, because that will kind of get you one step closer towards your goal, and it will keep you consistent. Now, consistent is the name of the game. We got to stop relying on our feelings. Come on, for example, if it's within the gym, I don't want to go to the gym because I don't feel good today. I don't want to go to the gym because of this, because of that. To me, that's an excuse. If you want, if you have the goal to have a healthy body, if you have the goal to, look big in the gym, look ripped, you will go regardless of how you feel. Because 1, that's discipline. And 2, you're not a pussy. And with the zone, we want to be in it, I'd say, all the time, because this is when we are the most productive. When wanting to pursue goals and when wanting to achieve certain things within our lives, this flow state is probably one of the best places we would want to be. If we tend to add emotion on how we feel, all of this stuff with motivation into the picture, it will definitely hinder our growth and hinder where things start to be productive. Now, we won't create a sense of consistency and all of this stuff based off the emotions that we feel, because 1, that gets in the way of our judgment. In a way, you have to stop relying on your feelings. Let's draw a picture right now. You wake up one morning, you had a good week going to the gym. You wake up one morning, I'm tired. Or I gymmed yesterday, so I feel good. All these excuses that we come up with, they're all based off our own emotion on how we feel. We know that work needs to be done. We know that it has to get done by a certain time because we set that goal for ourselves. But why aren't we doing it? And it's because we're letting our own emotions cloud our judgment. So, the best solution to kind of get rid of all of that is, stop relying on your feelings. And also, create a consistent schedule. I'm probably not one that's best at, scheduling certain things. I have worked up to this point where now I have a set routine, which is automatic. Things do change depending on certain situations that happen within my life, but I have a set schedule. For example, I'll gym at certain times of the day, get the work done through, edit during the night. So there's always a consistent flow, and there's always work that needs to be done. It's just some days you would feel like you don't want to do that, all of this stuff. But if you remove your emotions out of it, you tend to create a flow state, which then has that progress over life. And every consistent habit creates a good habit within your own life and minuses out the bad. Now, number 2, you're trying to do too much. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see is that people go all in for a week and then burn out. Like, you don't need a complete life overhaul. You just need small, consistent wins. For example, you decide that you're going to wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, start meditating, read 10 books, build a business, etc., all at once. A week later, you're back to square one. What you need to do is actually start with one habit, just one. Nail it then, and then start stacking the next one and the next one and the next one. Now, for example, you want to get into shape. Just commit to showing up to the gym. Even if it's 15 minutes a day, depending on how you want to do your sessions, just commit to showing up. Over time, you'll build that habit of showing up where it becomes a lifestyle. And then it becomes a habit that you've created, which is good. If you're wanting to make money, focus on getting your first sale. Focus on the steps that you need to take in order for that first sale to go through. What I've learned is that small steps compound into big results. So definitely start small, work your way up, and see how the ladder fits for you. Now, last but not least, the third thing is you're not tracking your progress. So you feel like you're getting nowhere. Now, if you don't track your progress, how do you know if you're improving? You might be making moves, but if you're not measuring them, you won't feel like you are. And that's when most people quit. For example, you start lifting weights, but you don't track how much you're lifting. A month later, you think that you're not progressing, when in reality, you must be lifting 10 kgs more than you started, etc. Like things like that. What I've noticed is that when you don't track certain goals, when you don't track certain steps within your own life, you tend to be stagnant in a way you don't know where you're going. It's like, for example, is you following a road and you don't know where it leads. You're just going down that road with no sense of direction, but you know that there is a goal. The thing is the road that you're going down the correct or the fastest way towards your progress, or is it going to be a road that kind of leads into a loophole that you're going in circles and circles until you find the right turnoff? Things that I kind of like to do is, write things down, whether it's tracking your workouts, your income, your daily habits, just seeing proof of your progress will kind of keep you going even when, it feels slow. These are the main reasons why most people fail at self-improvement. It's because they overcomplicate it. They wait for motivation. They try to do too much. They don't track their progress. If we fix these 3 things, we are already ahead of 99% of the people that are out there. Because at the end of the day, the choice is simple. It's either you stay stuck or start making small, consistent changes that actually last. And these are the 3 things that I realized that without that in my life, I definitely wouldn't have the mentality that I have and the progress that I've made within my own journey and my own walk. And I hope these 3 things have an effect on you in a way that helps you understand your own self and how to navigate your own life in terms of which way you would want to go. But other than that, that's it for this episode. Simply a nice, short and sweet one. And we'll catch you on the next. Peace.